it's Nay, and welcome to Hey Nay. Um, okay, so this next topic is called life stages and dating. There are no Hey Nay questions, so let me tell you pretty much what I think. So essentially, what life stages, when I say life stages, I mean two individuals who are in different places in their lives. And it's not necessarily have to do with the age thing. And if you want to know more of my opinion on age, you should check out Age in Dating. But it's more about just different places, different mindsets is more of the idea. Different mindsets in your lives. Um, so one person may be very serious. You know what I mean? One person may be ready to settle down, and the other one doesn't feel that way. The other person may feel like they're just starting to get into relationships or just starting to explore and starting to explore and experiment. So those are two different stages in life. Can those two people be together though? Can those two type of people be together? There's also um, you know sometimes one person um, may be focusing on one thing very much. So I'm trying to think of a great example. A good example would be, um, you know, one person is about to, um, you know, buy a buy a home while the other person is still living at home with their parents. It's like things like that in which there's a little bit of a discrepancy. It's as if one person is ahead in life and the other one isn't. And there's nothing wrong with the person who isn't or the person who is. It's just that whether or not they can actually still connect. You like the hand gestures, right? Okay. Anyway, so what is my opinion on that? Well, I think I do. I don't want you to hate me for saying this because I feel like I say this a lot, but it is subjective. It really is. But um, I do want to say that if you are truly in different life stages, that it may there may be some issues that may occur, things that you may have to overcome that normal relationships wouldn't have to. Um, So sometimes, which will require sacrifice, I think, honestly. There's a huge sacrifice that comes along with that. So that means either the person who's ahead would have to sacrifice a little bit, um, to get down to the level of that other person, or wait there for that other person to catch up, or, um, you know, the other, the person who's down below will sort of have to speed up to catch up. And I hope that makes sense, because we're in. You know what? All right, let me give a personal. I wasn't going to do this, but I think it's best. So I wasn't in a relationship with this person, but we were getting ready. Well, at least I expressed interest. So there's there was one girl who I told her, I was interested in her and things like that. She seemed to like me, as well, except that she was graduating and I was just getting into school. So that was a huge thing. But at first it was fine, and then later on she talked to me and she was like, it would be so cool, it would be great. And I'm there's definitely a possibility that this was just like, trying to let me down easy. But I do believe this. I do believe that it was a life stage situation. Because what she said was that, I think that we're in two different places in our lives. And until that moment, I never thought that way. You know what I mean? I never thought that way because I always, when she said that, I mean, I thought the age might be a thing, but no, it's about the stage. It's about being in two different places. Like she was getting ready to graduate, and start the rest of her life and her career and things like that. I was just, getting started um, in school, and like I was just finding my footing and my ground. Um, so I don't think that would have necessarily worked. You know, to be honest, I'm actually grateful that she did that, because I do think that there would have been a lot more issues and heartache down the line if we'd even tried to pursue it. We were definitely at two different stages in our lives. And in retrospect, and knowing that, I would not have um, been so forthright in expressing my feelings. Because I do think we weren't there yet. At least I wasn't there yet. I wasn't up to the stage that she was at, and I don't think it would have worked. I don't think it would have worked. And a lot of times we try to force it to work, and that's not necessarily good either. So like if the two of us would have forced it, um, then it would have been like an additional stress on the both of us, in which you're trying to force something to happen that is sort of breaking us apart. Now, granted, you could be at two different stages in life, and not be so far. Okay, so like I keep going like this as to demonstrate someone here and someone more further down in life. But it could even be like this. Can you see this? Like just slightly lower. And those are the ones that you really have to pay attention, because a lot of people are not necessarily on the level. So this is actually normal. You know what I mean? This is normal. You know what I mean? That's normal. It's these where you need to refocus and rethink um, the choices and where you want this to go. Because I personally believe, if you are in a stage like this and the relationship is strictly casual, I think you should just break up. I'm going to be honest. If the relationship is strictly casual and you're not serious, break up. Because this will never work. This will never work. And it's sad to say that, because um, I feel like people do fall for those people, or people do develop strong feelings for people who are in different places in life. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as someone has just, you know, who has just graduated from college and is now pursuing someone who's about to retire. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm saying put the age thing aside. You know what I mean? Because for most people, age does not necessarily matter. So put the age thing aside and just think of like, there's one person who's literally getting ready to go into the workforce, and the other one who's getting ready to leave. That can change things. You get what I'm saying? That can change things, and you have to make sure that how you feel for this person is true and is genuine. Because if it isn't, like I said, there'll be friction. There'll be constant friction. So essentially, the lesson is that if you find yourself in this situation, or you're currently in this situation in which you feel like you and your partner are at two different points in your life, then you need to first figure out what points those exactly are. So whether you're ahead, or you're behind compared to them, and then just see, can this really work? Let's think everything through. And this is when you start thinking about the future. Let's think everything through. What's going to happen this next year if we're together? You know what I mean? What's going to happen if she gets this job? You know what I mean? Or what's going to happen if I go back to school and things like that? So like, there's a lot of things that you have to take into account, but it's okay to try too. I don't want people to be afraid to like not try to make it work. You should definitely try if it's someone that you're really into. But just don't be caught off guard if it doesn't work out. Okay? That's all I have for you guys. Subscribe, like, share, and remember to always start your day off with a hey. Bye.